this is Emily. How are you guys doing? How do you like my curly hair? I went and saw Wicked last night. My husband took me on a date and we saw Wicked. I'm gonna turn off the bathroom fan. That might help, right? But it's kind of fun, right? Do something different. So, this video we are talking about week 34 of my pregnancy. Yay! 6 weeks till my due date, assuming the baby comes on his due date. A lot of people say the third trimester goes really slow, and I can totally see how that could happen because it's kind of uncomfortable. But for me, it's going by really fast. I'm actually feeling, my feelings this week are, I'm torn. Half of me wants to be like, okay, I'm done being pregnant. Let's meet this baby, you know. But the other half of me is like, no, I kind of enjoy being pregnant. It's exciting. It's fun. It's fun to feel him kicking and squirming around in there. And, you know, sometimes it kind of hurts, but for the most part, it's fun to feel him in there. And I know that once he's born, I'm not gonna have that, but he'll be here with me. So yeah. Anyway, so let's talk about my OBGYN appointment that I had this week. So, okay, I asked him about, I have allergies, I've been taking Claritin, that is what he told me to take, just one 10 milligram Claritin per day for allergies while I'm pregnant. It has like stopped working. And so I asked him, is there something else or should I just suffer through this or what? Because my nose is always plugged and I get sinus headaches now. And he said, okay, switch to this a decongestant. And he prescribed me a particular one. I don't remember what it's called. Apparently it's the only safe one for pregnant women that he told me about anyway. So I've started taking that for a couple days now. And I do notice that it's helping things drain out. I was getting so stuffed up. This has been a really bad year for allergies for me. And I think the suffering is going to end soon. So that is good. So yeah, the next thing is I asked him about iron. I asked him, you know, I've been really tired and I'm wondering if my iron levels are not doing so great. And he told me that my iron is perfect. My blood cell counts are perfect. My white cells, red cells, all these different cells. He went into this long explanation. And honestly, I didn't quite grasp everything he said because it was a little too detailed for like a 5-minute spiel or less. I mean, he said all this stuff in this really short amount of time. But basically, everything is perfect. My iron is perfect. Because I asked him, should I start supplementing? Should I start to worry about that? And he said no, that I think it's during like week 26 through 28 is when a iron deficiency would show up, because that's when you need the most blood for your pregnancy, is somewhere in that timeline. And weird noises outside. Weird noises. People are yelling. Sorry. And my, everything looks good. Everything was perfect at that time. He's like, if you were going to have a deficiency in iron or have any kind of anemia, it would have happened then. And he said, you just need to get more sleep. And I told him that's impossible. I am having a really hard time sleeping, but, I just can't get comfortable. What happens is the minute I lay down, it's like the baby gets hyper and goes into hyper mode and squirms around and kicks around, and sometimes it's painful. And in fact, the only time he ever hurts me is at night. And it's mainly because I have these painful stretch marks around my belly button, and anytime he kicks near my belly button or squirms near there, it hurts. So I think that's the main reason. That's one of the main reasons I can't sleep. And sometimes I'll just lay there worrying about him. Like, what's he doing in there? When I should be sleeping. So I need to just stop that and just, go to sleep. But the other thing is, I lay on my side. I have a pregnancy pillow, and I kind of switch sides throughout the night. And it doesn't matter what side I'm on, the baby will start kicking. Whichever side I'm leaning towards, he'll start kicking towards that side and just squirming around. And I'm always afraid I'm squishing him. So I've been having to try and kind of, as I'm laying on my side, trying to kind of lean back a little bit so that I'm not putting any pressure on my belly. And I'm having to sleep like that now because it literally feels like I'm squishing him and he's like, help! That's what it feels like. So I'm really tempted to sleep on my back, but I don't want to pass out from not getting enough blood flow. So that's what I do all night. I go back and forth from side to side. I sleep for as long as I can on one side. Then my hip goes numb. And then when my hip goes numb, my whole leg hurts as I'm trying to roll over. So it's like a big event for me to roll over. It's like this big painful event. And I know it's mainly probably just because I'm a big woman, I have a really high BMI, so I have a lot of weight sitting around and it just hurts, it hurts with the extra pregnancy weight and stuff. So I don't know, I'm just going to have to deal with it. He told me to sleep in a recliner. We just got a glider recliner. I'm going to do a video about all the baby stuff that we have, but pretty soon, maybe in a couple weeks. But we got this recliner glider chair, so I might try to start sleeping in that, but I don't know. I can only sit for so long either. That isn't comfortable either. So this is the part of the pregnancy where I'm like, okay, can this be over now? I really like to sleep on my belly, so oh well, that's all I really have to complain about though, so I'm pretty lucky, aren't I? I am, because my health is good. I stopped wearing my wedding ring. I bought this band for $10. I was worried that my ring would get stuck and that my wedding ring would get stuck and I'd have to go to a jeweler to have it cut off. And, well, no, I don't want to do that because I have been getting a little bit of edema. I've only noticed it in my hands and in my face. Sometimes my face gets big, sometimes it shrinks down, and it can happen multiple times during a day, I swear. So yeah, my hands actually don't feel too water retained at the moment. So anyway, what else have I done? What else happened? So he measured my belly, or I guess it's my uterus. I don't know what exactly are they measuring. Is it your belly or your uterus or both? But he told me I'm at 34 centimeters, I think. So I'm at week 34, so I'm actually measuring perfectly, right on. When I went for my 31-week appointment, I was measuring 31 centimeters, which is perfect. That's right on. So for week 34, I'd want to be anywhere from 32 to 36. So anywhere in there is good. And so I'm at 34. So it sounds like he's growing at the exact rate that he should be, and everything's going great. I just in the last few days have been noticing that when I'm in bed, my legs are sort of threatening to have a leg cramp like a Charlie horse. And I've already read up about that beforehand. During pregnancy, if you have leg cramps, you're probably either needing calcium or magnesium. So I've just decided I've been taking like an extra 500 milligrams of calcium magnesium. They come together in a pill that I got I think it's from Trader Joe's. So I had bought it a few months ago, and then I was like, oh, I don't need this, but now I do. So I've started taking that. You know, my prenatal has calcium, magnesium, but it's like a really low dose. So I don't need to do anything else about that. So currently I'm just taking my prenatal, the omega, what is it called? Omega 3s. It's the algae oil with DHA, EPA. I take randomly, I take a little extra iodine. Do your own research on iodine during pregnancy for plant-based women. And then, what was the other? Oh, the magnesium, calcium. And sometimes I take extra vitamin D because there's a lot of studies on vitamin D during pregnancy and during lactation nursing. So anyway, I'm not going to go into all that. But if you have questions, please ask. I can show you where I found information on those if you're curious. So I take quite a bit of vitamins actually, but I'm not taking any iron other than what is in my prenatal, which is only like 18, I want to say, 15 or 18 milligrams. Plus I get it from food. Duh. Right? So, okay. What else happened? So, let's see. Measured me. Oh, they do weigh me. So I have not been weighing myself at all during this pregnancy. Starting at about the end of the second trimester is when I started to put on some weight. And I find it to be very depressing to watch my weight go up on the scale. After losing almost, like 70 pounds last year, it's very hard mentally and emotionally for me to see the scale go up. I mean, I know I'm pregnant and I have to gain weight. That's just the way it is. But it's really hard for me to see that number on the scale going up when I worked so hard last year to get a huge chunk of weight off. So I don't weigh myself at home. I only weigh at the doctor's office, and I've told them that I don't even want to know how much I weigh unless there's a problem. Like if I start having a health problem or something like that. I've gotten my diet much better under control. I was slipping up a lot in the beginning of the third trimester, but I've been really working on it a lot because I don't want to develop the gestational diabetes or any of that kind of, preeclampsia or any of that kind of stuff. I'm at a higher risk because of my weight anyway. So I've been really sticking really close to the plant-based, and of course I'm not perfect. I do splurge every now and then. I have been getting into the cravings lately and craving things more than I used to. I didn't have a lot of cravings earlier in my pregnancy, and now I am. But I'm trying to make the healthiest decisions in the moment and just try not to let too much junk in, and I think it's working. I don't feel like I'm putting on too much added weight. The baby is just growing so much right now. And so yeah, I was thinking about showing you guys my painful stretch marks that I have. If you want to see it, let me know if you're curious or if you're suffering from the same thing. And I can take a picture and maybe send it to you. Or maybe I can just do a separate video on just my painful stretch marks. What I will tell you is that coconut oil is what I was using to rub on my belly for months. And it turns out coconut oil wasn't doing anything for me. Nothing for my skin. So I saw a different doctor for a different reason. She's actually an audiologist checking my ears. And it turns out my ears are fine. But she's had lots of children, and I was telling her about my belly button hurting, and the stretch marks that surround it are hurting. And she told me, go to the store and buy the cheapest cocoa butter. And that is the one that works. So I did. I should have showed you guys, but I've been rubbing cocoa butter on the stretch marks, and the pain is almost completely gone. Do it. If you have painful stretch marks, switch to cocoa butter. Okay, so the other thing is my doctor gave me my breast pump. My insurance covers a breast pump, so I got this for free. I just have to buy a couple supplies for it, and I'll be ready to pump when the baby's here. I do plan on exclusively breastfeeding. If all goes well, I'm going to try really hard to just exclusively breastfeed. I've been reading up on it. I've been looking at breastfeeding forums. I know that it can be really hard to stick with breastfeeding, but if I can just make it past the 3 weeks mark after the baby's born, and then make it to the 6-week mark after the baby's born, then I shouldn't have any more problems. It's supposed to get much easier after that. It's just the first 6 weeks are hard. That's what I've been reading. So I have goals. Get through the first 3 weeks and get through the 6 weeks, and then we're good to go. So I'm going to show you what they gave me. So the brand is called Ameda. Is that how you pronounce it? Ameda. Okay. So these are the the bottles and the cups. The cups go on here. And you know, you pump it into these little bottles right here, which unfortunately are made of plastic, so I can't put them in the dishwasher. I swear, everything's made out of plastic. But that's okay. I'm still going to use it. And then this is the actual pump. So you can put batteries in it somewhere, or you can just plug it in. It's got a plug-in, which is probably what I'll do. It's got speed and suction settings that you can set and decide, you know, what works for you. What else is in here? Oh, just the charging cable, and then a couple lids for these bottles that it came with to store the milk. And then I'm gonna need to buy those little Ziploc bags that you pour the breast milk from here into, it's like a little Ziploc bag, and then you freeze it in the freezer. That's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be hopefully pumping and then freezing. I've also watched videos here on YouTube about how to hand express breast milk. In case this doesn't work well for me, I'm going to try hand expression. And then you can also do a combination where you're pumping your breast and then you're also hand expressing at the same time. And that is actually the best way to get the most milk from what I've read. They've actually done studies on it. So, anyway, that is what I'm going to try to be doing. I would love to pump. My goal is to breastfeed all day, pump maybe once or twice a day. I don't know. Just depends on how much I can get out with the pump. And have my husband, when he gets home from work, feed the baby a bottle. And I've received a lot of information on when you should start giving your baby a bottle if you're going to pump and breastfeed. And apparently the babies can get used to the bottle and then not want to go to use the breast anymore. So you're supposed to wait like 6 weeks before you give them a bottle. So I don't know. If you wait too long, then they won't take the bottle at all, and all they want is the breast. So I don't know. I'm going to talk to a lactation consultant after the baby's born, maybe a couple different times, and get a feel for what I should be doing. But that's my vague plan, is to do both pumping and breastfeeding. So I have the nursery almost completely finished. We have received so many decorative things that I've been trying to hang up in his room. I'm running out of wall space, and I don't really decorate. I think I'm going to do kind of a house tour, and you guys will see. I don't really decorate my house, not really, only a little bit. But then you go in the baby's room and it's like, bam, it's full of decor. People have been so generous, and they've been giving me all kinds of Winnie the Pooh stuff, and you know, because his nursery is Winnie the Pooh meets Doctor Who. And have some videos popping up one after the other is kind of how it might go. So anyway, that's it. How are you guys doing? I want to hear how you guys are doing. And not just because I want people to comment on my video. I genuinely want to know how you're doing. So let me know. What are your plans? What do you have going on in your life? Okay, so I'll talk to you guys later. Oh, should I show my belly real quick? Yes. Obviously. It's my bump. My 34 centimeter bump. We are growing like it's going out of style. Okay, thank you. See you later.